The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello, everyone. Good to see you again in such a short matter of time. It appears that I am reading faster than I can record them, so I just figured, go ahead and record. Let's see, is there any news going on? Well, as of today, I hit the 100,000 word mark on my Napoleonic novel. Yay, winning. And I have a feeling it's probably going to be like 130,000, but this is the rough draft, fellow writers, that after you type in the words the end, and then you go into editing, it could get longer, shorter, what have you. So, but yeah, if anybody had told me that I would hit 100,000 words with this book, I wouldn't have believed it. But here we are, and the major twist hasn't even happened yet. So I'll keep everyone updated for any kind of news regarding the book. But I'm really excited about this. I truly am. So also, this afternoon begins Passover for me, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I was joking around that, I can't have leavened bread. I have to eat, like matzahs or alternatives, So I thought, instead of me getting whiny and moany about, missing biscuits and pancakes and bread, eat more fruits and veggies, eat more protein, and eat more yogurt, and celebrate it that way. So for those of you who celebrate Passover, Chag Sameach, and I hope that if you are engaged in a Seder, that it turns out well and full of reflection and a good time and just what you need. If you are, whatever you're looking for with your Seder this year, I hope you find it. So, well, without further ado, let's begin with the book portion. And I do want to say up front that a lot of my videos are not for kids. Well, this one is specifically for kids. And in fact, I brought Lemongrass, one of the many representatives of Viridian Tea Company. Hello, because he, or is it a she? I think you're just Lemongrass. Anyway, Lemongrass would really enjoy these 3 books that I'm reviewing today. And let me just say right off the bat that I enjoyed reading all 3 of them. I really, really did. They made me laugh, giggle, they made me ponder, they made me think, they made me feel good. So if you have children or if you're a child at heart, I hope that these 3 books will inspire you to go out and check them out at the library. And also too, these books were provided by the Arapahoe Library system. Yay! Arapahoe Library! All right, Lemongrass, you sit over here next to the tea. All right, comfortable? Cool. All right, so the first book, I'd heard about this for quite some time and just never got around to reading it. And then I said, you know what? If my library has it, I'm just gonna read it. So glad that I read this book. This is the first book in the series. This is The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. If you have not heard of this series, or you've heard of it but you just haven't read it yet, I highly recommend reading this series. I've only finished the first book, but I'm ready for the second one. So here's the inside dust jacket. Excuse me. Are you a gifted child looking for special opportunities? When this particular ad appears in the newspaper, dozens of children enroll to take a series of mysterious, mind-bending tests. And you, dear reader, can test your wits right alongside them. You really can. The tests are kind of cool. But in the end, just 4 very special children will succeed. Their challenge: to go on a secret mission that only the most intelligent and resourceful children could complete. To accomplish it, they will have to go undercover at the Learning Institute for the Very Enlightened, where the only rule is that there are no rules. As our heroes face physical and mental trials beyond their wildest imaginations, they have no choice but to turn to each other for support. But with their newfound friendship at stake, will they be able to pass the most important test of all? Welcome to the Mysterious Benedict Society. again, I love the children because all four of the children are orphans or abandoned at one point in their life. They're all very precocious, they're all highly intelligent, and they all have separate skills. Like, excuse me, when I found out about Constance's skill, I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna give it away. I also liked Kate and Sticky, although his real name is George Washington, and Rainey. Rainey was kind of like the leader. But this was an excellent book where you get to see kids who are really intelligent use their intelligence, kind of like their superpower. And it's good versus evil, and twins, and narcolepsy, and let's see what else. The tests and the quizzes, that had me scratching my head a lot. I was like, oh yeah, that is right. Okay, cool. But yeah, just an overall rip-roaring good time. And they say that if you were into the Harry Potter series, you're gonna love the Mysterious Benedict Society. And I could see that. I read all the Harry Potter books. I devoured all the Harry Potter books. So this series, oh yeah, very much A+, A+. Twists, turns, good guys, bad guys, and at the end, a happy ending with enough room for sequels. And I think there are, let's see, so total there's 1, 2, 3, 4 books, and then there's The Mysterious Benedict Society, Mr. Benedict's Book of Perplexing Puzzles, Elusive Enigmas, and Curious Conundrums. So this, I really enjoyed reading it, and the librarian in the children's department of my library said that she'd read it and she was referred to it by another adult. She's like, I really liked it. So if I ever see her again, I'm gonna say thank you so much, that great tip on this book. So The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart receives Viridian Tea House's 5 pots of tea. Looking forward to reading the next book, and I hope my library has it. But thank you so much. This was really great, really was. So the next book, I actually discovered this quite by accident through the Arapahoe Library website. I was just kind of scrolling around and just seeing what books that were coming out, and through 6 Degrees of Separation, I ended up with this book. Well, actually the next 2 books, but this one was a dream. It really was a dream to read. I read this like 3 times. It is called The Tea Party in the Woods by Akiko Miyakoshi. And the illustrations were very dreamlike, very beautiful. The tea party was one that I wish I could be invited to, and the story was a very sweet and simple one. So let me read the dust jacket for you. One snowy winter's day, Kiko sets out to bring a pie to Grandma. When she happens upon a strange house in the woods, the most surprising guests invite her inside for a tea party. Kiko can hardly believe her eyes. And as you can see in the picture, you can see some of the people who are the party members of the tea party. They're all animals. But this was just such a cute, delightful, dreamlike, ethereal story. And this would be great to read to your little ones at night. This is a great story for adults to read during an adult adult tea party, excuse me. But this is just one of those simple classic stories that you never get tired of reading. You never do. And plus, there's pie and tea involved. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So for The Tea Party in the Woods by Akiko Miyakoshi, this receives Viridian Tea House's 5 pots of tea. You see a trend here? But let me see. I'll show you one of the drawings. Oh yeah, when Kiko arrives at the strange house. Look at that illustration. Is that just not beautiful? You feel like you could just step into the pages of the book and end up at the tea party as well. this was just such a beautiful book. I almost don't want to check it back into the library, but I can order my own copy and I can read it as many times as I want. So thank you so much, arigato, for this lovely book, The Tea Party in the Woods. Thank you. And the last book, so I do have to say this. I have a story, and I think I've said this before in earlier videos. There was a guy that I knew many years ago. We had met during the con circuit, and I ended up submitting a short story to him, and of course it involved tea. And I'll never forget his comments were, well, you know, not everybody drinks tepid salad water. And I remember staring at that and I was like, what is he talking about? And then I thought, he's talking about tea. Not everybody drinks tepid salad water? Okay, that was a little bit insulting. For those of you who don't know, tea is the second most consumed beverage on the planet, next to water. And this book, Tea Time Around the World, just proves it. This is a great book to read to your kids if they're interested in learning more about tea, because as the title states, there are different tea celebrations and rituals and tea practices all around the world. Literally all around the world. So apparently there are a lot of people on this planet who like to drink tepid salad water, but I digress. So the inside dust jacket. This poetic picture book takes children of all ages on an adventure around the world to discover new cultures and friends through tea. Did you know that po cha, the traditional tea in Tibet, is thick and salty like soup? Or that in Iran, tea is served with a rock candy that is. Or that in England, the tradition of afternoon tea began after a duchess complained of being hungry between lunch and dinner. Tea Time Around the World engages the youngest of readers with simple, vivid poetry complemented by unique facts about different tea cultures. Vibrant, detailed pictures by Chelsea O'Byrne bring to life debut author Denyse Waissbluth's, I hope I pronounced that correctly, joyous celebration of diversity and deliciousness. This was very true, like the inside here. Tea is celebrated in so many countries in so many different ways. So for somebody to think that tea is nothing but tepid salad water, I really kind of feel sorry for that guy. I'm also not talking to that guy anymore. But yes, for Tea Time Around the World, get a good close-up look there. It receives, drum roll please, 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. But yes, I read this book 3 times because I love the story. And in fact, let's see, what was one of my favorites in here? Where is the... Oh, here we go. Part of the rhyme is, enjoy it for hours. And it says, matcha, or powdered green tea, is carefully prepared and served during Chennoyu, the Japanese tea ceremony. Each part of the ritual helps to create a harmonious atmosphere and make sure guests enjoy the experience. And the illustration that goes with it is so true. Absolutely gorgeous illustrations. Truly, truly beautiful. Oops, got a piece of tape stuck here. Oh, there we go. And what's another one that I really liked? Let's see. Oh yeah. The rhyme is of flowers. While the hibiscus plant is originally from West Africa, it has inspired tisanes around the world. I love using hibiscus in my tea blends. I never get tired of the taste. In South Sudan, karkade, or hibiscus tea, is made with hibiscus petals. It tastes tart like cranberries and is served hot or ice and sometimes sweetened. And here is the illustration for that. And also the opposite illustration regarding, with berries. Indigenous cultures in North America prepare tea from berries, plants, and roots. These can be used to treat fevers, colds, and sore backs, or even to help people sleep. So yeah, tea time around the world, proof that tea is not just tepid salad water, but to each their own, I guess. But yes, great, great books about learning more about tea. And like I said, even if you're an adult and you want to learn more about tea and you don't want to read the thick tomes about the history of tea, the Tea Party in the Woods and especially Tea Time Around the World work perfectly. So thank you very much for these 3 delightful children's books that I will read over and over again and purchase for my own library. Thank you. And a special shout out, as always, to the Arapahoe Library District for having these books. Thank you so much. You guys rock. So in getting to the tea portion, not just reading, kids. Today's tea is from Upton Tea Imports. This is Season's Pick Jin Jun Mei, origin China. So I purchased one of the sample bags. This is, and I did take some notes. So Jin Jun Mei is a loose leaf black tea from China. It is especially fragrant with dark cocoa powder. And the instructions, and I followed them, it said to steep for 4 to 5 minutes. I let this steep for about 5 minutes, and the color in my lovely Celestial Dragon mug is kind of like a deep reddish brown. Like when I looked at it in the teapot, I literally was like, ooh, that's beautiful. That is really beautiful. Now, when I smelled the leaves, I always try to do that first just to kind of get an idea of the tea, especially if I've never had it before. I didn't really smell the dark cocoa powder. I guess I was expecting it to just kind of hit me all at once, but maybe it's more of a subtle cocoa flavor. And then again, when I steeped the leaves, I tried to smell it. I got the barest hint of cocoa powder. So my first time trying it, this is Season's Pick Jin Jun Mei from Upton Tea Imports in Massachusetts. It is very velvety smooth. In swishing it around, it felt like velvet. The cocoa powder, not so much. But I'm getting more of an earthy taste to it, a very grounded kind of feeling with this tea. I wish, I should have put this in a clear mug for you to see the color, but it's a beautiful dark reddish brown. It's beautiful. It truly is. Now, I've let this sit for a few minutes. Okay, that second sip, I'm getting a little bit more of the dark cocoa powder, but again, I'm getting more of the earthy, black, kind of Chinese tea taste, but the cocoa powder is kind of faint. Doesn't mean that this is not bad. It just, I was expecting the dark cocoa powder to be a little bit stronger, but if this is the extent of it, now see the aftertaste, I'm actually getting more of the cocoa that way. But this isn't a bad tea. This is quite good. I would much rather drink this in the morning than to have my cup of coffee in the morning. But yeah, this is good. So once again, this is Season's Pick Jin Jun Mei from Upton Tea Imports in Massachusetts. Yeah, it's still velvety, still earthy. I wouldn't want to add any sweetener to it. I think adding sugar or honey to this would kind of mess up the flavors that are going around right now. But this is excellent. This really is. And if there's any representative of Upton Tea Imports who's watching this video, my apologies for not adding the reviews to your website, but I'll be doing that today, actually. All right, so that's all I have for today, but before we end, let's do our usual tea, water, breathing meditation. For those of you who are new to this, it's just focus on your breathing. We're not focusing on a mantra or anything like that. Make sure you've prepared a cup of your favorite tea or your water and have it nearby. You can find yourself in a comfortable position, either seated, standing up, or laying down. We're going to start with close your eyes or softly focus on an object in front of you. We're going to take several deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Then we just focus on our breathing. If you find that you're getting caught up in thoughts, just pause mentally, label it thinking, and allow the thought to go on its way. Then after a while, we're going to end with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then we'll have a sip of your tea or water. So if you're ready, let's begin. And now as we end this breathing meditation, take one deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now enjoy a sip of your tea or your water. It just keeps getting velvety, more and more velvety. It's just, this is really good tea. Well, that's all I've got for today. Much thanks to the children's authors that I reviewed today. The books were absolutely incredible. Many thanks to the Arapahoe Library District. You guys are awesome. I will be visiting you guys like later today. And also to Upton Tea Imports for the season's Pick Jin Jun Mei. This is quite a velvety, deliciously earthy black tea. So take care of yourself and each other. Raise your tea mug high, and always remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. On behalf of myself and Lemongrass, we're going to see you real soon. Take care, and bye for now.